I was muted. Welcome to halftime. We are, as always, live on the Cyclone Fanatic social media platforms, and we are looking forward to talking about Iowa State leading Houston 3-0 in a very, very, I don't know, boring first half, but I thought a lot of key storylines to talk about, and we'll do that here for the next 10 minutes or so. We are, as always, presented by our friends with the Iowa Pork Producers, the presenting sponsor of halftime. Iowa Pork. By pork, I made 3 pork ribs last night to celebrate Aiden's birthday. Did that for him. And we are also presented by our friends at Central States Roofing. Check out their website at csrroofing.com. Really starting to love this company, getting to know these guys a little bit. They serve Central Iowa, really specialize in commercial roofing. They are doing spots of all sizes. It doesn't matter if you're as big as Hilton Coliseum or if you're but they're really good across the commercial roofing landscape. And they support Cyclone Fanatic, and they love the Cyclone, csrroofing.com. Iowa State 3-0. And, kind of set the tone, I thought, when Iowa State settled for the really short 23-yard field goal on that first series on offense. Felt like he had a great opportunity there to get the ball rolling down the hill. And they just haven't been able to do it. It's been a pretty sloppy half from Rocco Beck. 9 of 17 for Rocco. And that's a really low 53% completion percentage for him. And that has become a thing early in these football games. Rocco, every game this year, he's struggled in the first half, usually the first quarter, and then he gets going a little bit. So, that'll be clearly a thing to watch for in the third quarter. Why does that keep happening? Iowa State is 3-0 despite it going into tonight, but now you're in Big 12 play. Clearly, Willie Fritz has this Houston defense ready to go for Iowa State. I will get to Iowa State's defense and what I think about all that here in a minute. We'll just knock out the offense first. We'll start with the running backs. Getting a lot of comments about Abu Sama, and I think they're valid. I could make the argument that Jalen Jackson's the best running back Iowa State has right now. Right? I think that he clearly has a little burst to him that the other guys don't have. Hanson's been okay tonight too. But Jackson leads the way at 5.1 yards per carry, and Sama all the way down there, 5 attempts, only 9 yards, 1.8 yards per carry. I think Abu's trying to hit too many home runs myself. It just feels like he's trying to, where I don't know if he's missing holes. I don't know if he's missing assignments. What's going on? He's picked up some good blitzes tonight. That Houston defense is starting to get a little squirrely out there. So that could be a deal. There's just more to that position, right, than just running the football. But clearly when it comes to getting yards on the ground, he's probably the third most effective at this point for Iowa State in the season. So we'll see if that continues. But yeah, I mean, if you need points, makes a heck of a lot of sense to keep 12 out there some more. And then Carson Hansen, love seeing him more in the passing game, a couple of receptions for him. Not worried about the running back room. They're really talented, but got to get something going on the ground. More importantly, you guys know my philosophy on offense, and clearly these guys are all a lot smarter than me. I just hate 3 tight ends on the field at one time. I hate it. It's just a personality thing with me. I can't stand it because I think that what it does is it just bunches everybody up, and it's easier for the defense to defend the field, because everybody's in a box. Where Iowa State has so many talented receivers, and you can use guys like Carson Hansen in the passing game. I hate playing the 3 tight ends, and I know Iowa State has good tight ends. I'm not arguing that, but I think you can go back all the way to the 2021 season, and it's like, where did that year go wrong? That's, in my opinion, they played the 3 tight ends together too much. And I hope they're not going to that. And you've seen a lot of that tonight. And I don't know. Again, maybe they saw something in Houston and they thought that they could take advantage of it. I've watched enough of this football over the years, and if I'm a defensive coordinator, I love it when an offense does that. right? Like it's like if I'm playing a quarterback, I'm always going to hope Iowa State's playing the guy can either just run or who can only just pass. I don't want the dual threat guy because it gives me more to think about. When you log the three tight ends in there, I know it's pretty much going to be in a box if you're going to run it or the way you go downfield. So that's my one critique. I just hope Iowa State is not falling into that trap, and I don't necessarily know that they are. I would guess they make some adjustments here in the second half, and I hope they do. They're not stupid. They see this, and I don't know. I just that is just a thing with me. It's always been a thing with me, and it always will be. It doesn't matter if I'm watching Iowa State or if I'm watching a random game. It's not my type of offense. So take on that. Real quick, I did want to hit on Jalen Knoll. Couple catches, 22 yards. Don't know if we've done this enough. Like I just feel like he's taking his game to another level. Right, there was got some yards after catch, that type of stuff. It feels like he's really Rocco's security blanket of all those guys. Wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out. Another note I had, Jalen Travis pretty much has played the entire game at left tackle for James Neal. So it appears he is the starting left tackle for Iowa State for the foreseeable future. On the other side, I don't know how you can say much negative about Iowa State's defense. Houston is 0 of 6 on third downs. Really, just completely one-dimensional. Their quarterbacks have combined. They've been playing both guys, but they're 3 of 7 for 14 yards. And I would fully anticipate Iowa State continues to ratchet up the pressure, as you saw them start to do in the second quarter there. This is always a John Haycock thing since he's been at Iowa State, where he will, kind of feel you out in that first quarter and get more and more aggressive as the game goes on. So that's my anticipation. You really do feel like if Iowa State can get up to a 2-score lead, that you can get home with the win, right? That's where I'm at with this thing. Iowa State did defer at the beginning of the game, so the Cyclones will get the ball to start the second half, go out there and score a touchdown, and everybody's going to be just fine. This is, I'm not panicked about this at all. It's hard to win football games on the road. If you listen to me and Bloom later on this week, this is what I thought would, not that Iowa State would be up 3-0, but I thought Willie Fritz would really just keep the ball on the ground and try and make the game as short and ugly as possible. That's what they did against Oklahoma a few weeks ago, where they made that a really good football game. That's exactly what they're doing to Iowa State tonight. And the Cyclones have to find a way to, put a couple of these things in the end zone. And man, you'll be in good shape going back to Ames next week with a huge one against Baylor, where you would be trying to go 5-0 for the first time since 1980. But clearly some business to take care of here in the second half for Iowa State. Couple of notes on defense. I did make Bo Freeler, wanted to give him a shout out. He's all over the field tonight. Where's he at? 5 tackles. I don't know how Bo's taken his game up to another level, right? Like he's just been so banged up with that shoulder for so many years, but he's incredible. He looks really good early on this season, talking like first team all conference good. Shout out to him. The other guy is my dude, Cale Brzezina. I tweeted this midway through the first quarter, but he looks like a senior out there, right? 9 linebacker on defense. Feels like, I don't like doing the latest and greatest. We'll see if you guys agree with me or not. Comp is Mike Rose, and man, I feel like he's more effective than those guys were as freshmen. I mean, I go back to like Knott and Klein. Brzezina is just all over the field. Like he is playing out of his mind for a true freshman linebacker. So, and he looks like, yeah, Joey says Brzezina does not look like a freshman. I completely agree. Like he just looks so big and strong and fast and all of that good stuff out there. So, love watching 9 play. Defense looks great. They had the one kind of jacked up play in that first drive where Houston got a long run, and there may not have been a hold on it, but nonetheless, they're shifty. These quarterbacks are going to get theirs every once in a while, but I have zero respect for their passing game. So, I hope John just lines up and blitzes the shit out of this team in the second half, and I think that they will. Just run blitz the crap out of them and, try and force a turnover or two. If you get them down 2 scores, then Houston's not going to have any choice but have to try and put the ball in the air, and that's when Iowa State could really pull away, and I think they could get a couple of turnovers from these quarterbacks. But nonetheless, you got to be able to do it on offense, and Iowa State has been very ineffective tonight as far as that goes. Not completely. I mean, you look at this game, you outgained them by 20, so not much. First downs 9-4, so you more than doubled them up there, but you don't have the production to show for it, right? A couple of reviews go against you. Probably the right call on both of them. Not panicked. Iowa State's in a good spot here, getting the ball to start the third quarter. But man, you want to see that offense roll, right? See how it goes. Thanks, thousands of you in here. We appreciate it. Absolutely love doing these live halftime shows and getting all y'all's opinions. No Leah this week. She is out, I believe, at a wedding or something like that. I will be here for post game immediately following what will hopefully be a big win for the Cyclones. Let's get after it. Second half coming up. Appreciate our friends at Iowa Pork for sponsoring and presenting our halftime show. Iowa State leads 3-0 over Houston. Also want to thank a couple other great sponsors. We are in the Wild Rose Casino Studios and my friends over at Carl Auto Group as well. We'll be back after the game. Talk to you guys then.